Hello and welcome back. Now, this is our third project. After completing the film quiz and the Flappy Bird game, in both those games, we used the code which was provided to you by someone else. We used code blocks to get you an understanding of how patch editor and to understand a game logic. We had used these ready-made code blocks. But today we are going to build it from scratch. So the game that we are going to build today is called as a blinking race, wherein you have a skater or a running person. He is running on a road, and whenever an obstacle comes, he has to jump the obstacle, and the control you are providing the user to jump is your eye blink. So as soon as he sees the actual obstacle, he is going to jump when you blink. When you blink the eye, he will jump. And if you fail to jump, he will crash with the obstacle and the game is going to over. So with this concept, I have provided you with some assets. So now, once you download these assets, so I will show you the assets. So once you download the assets, I have given one blinking_asset.zip file. You just right click on it and unzip it. So when you unzip this entire file, this file consists of, see, if I open blinking assets, you have three images. You have three images here of a skater. Now here you can see one image of a skater, and similar to this you have two other images, and you can see the movements are at different position in the three. So using these three, we are going to create an animated sequence of a person skating. So instead of skating, you can customize it and use it like a runner or a biker. You can use any component here. Then you have a background image here. You are seeing a background image. This is the background image in which the runner is going to run. So you can see the background image here. And then you have three obstacles. So you can see here, this is obstacle one. You can place anything as an obstacle. I have just placed one inverted ice cream cone, and you have one broken can, and you have one dustbin. So these three are the obstacles, and you have the runner, and you have a screen. This is a starting or the end over game screen. So totally you have three animation sequence, a background, three obstacle, and the end screen. So when you are working on this, for you to make this job customizing it easier, I have provided you with a Photoshop file. So if you open this file in Photoshop, so now I will just open it and show it. See, this is the layout you can see here, and you can see the layer that is, it has been grouped into different components. One is the actual runner one image, two, then three, then you have the score gameplay. This is the way the game is going to look. This is the game over screen. Then you have the BG image, then you have the three obstacle. So this is a Photoshop file which you can use, and you can change these images and you can customize it to your requirement. So this is the provided input, and using this, now we are going to build the game. Okay, now let us start by launching our Metaspark Studio. So I will double click to launch it. So once I launch Metaspark Studio, say once it launches, once you log in, you are going to see this screen, and here in create new, I am now again going to start with a blank project. Double click to open the blank project, wait until it is launched, and once it is launched, now only thing is, now you are seeing my screen image automatically or not. If you are seeing some other image like this, some other image, you can click on the icon here and select your webcam. So when you select the webcam, so now I will just close this. Now the next job we are going to now do is, I will maximize this. The very first thing that we need in your scene is, because we are going to run our game by blinking, what is the component you require? You need a component which can track your face, and this face tracker is a SDK. SDK means software development kit developed by Facebook, and this library, if you just take it, you will get all the component which will detect your face movements automatically. So, for this, now come over here and in the scene click on the plus, select the face tracker, it is default selected, click insert. So, now the face tracker has been added here. See, you can see here this component here changing. See, as I tilt the face, this component movement is changing, and for this face tracker I will right click and I am going to add an object, and first I am going to add a canvas. So, come to add object and click on canvas, double click this canvas and rename it as background. We will give it the name as background. Canvas means it is a holder or a sheet of paper on which you are going to do the drawing. Okay. This is similar to a paint canvas. So, after we add the canvas, inside this canvas now, I am going to right click and I am going to add an object called plane. So, as soon as I add a plane, you can see here, you are seeing the plane. It is appearing as a checkered board now. Right now, this is not textured. There is no texture applied to it. So, when you select this plane 0, double click it and immediately always remember to give proper nomenclature, so that it will be easier for you to work. I am going to call this as BG1, and for this BG1 here I will come in the properties here on the right hand side, and you have one material. Right now there are no material. So, if I click on plus, a new material is created. This material will be available to you in the assets panel here. Okay. And in this assets panel I will double click on the name and I am going to call this name as background material. Since it is a material, I will add mat underscore background as its name. Now, the next thing is, this is a material. If I come now to the right hand side property, see, whichever component I select on the left hand side, its property is displayed on the right hand side. Here the very first thing is, since it is a 2D game, in shader I will set it to flat shader, and after setting it to flat shader, for this I have to choose a texture. So, to choose the texture here, either you can choose it here or click choose file, and you come to the browser where I have provided you with the assets, you have one bg.png file. Select this file and click open. So, once you open it, see, sometimes this will, so you just restart once and you can see the image. So, if the image due to texture, if there is any issue of not seeing it, just restart the game. Now, you are seeing this image. I will select this BG1, and when I select the BG1, see, I can control its position, rotation and scale through the tools provided over at the tab. So, if I move it to the top, it moves top and bottom, and if I move it to right and left, I can move it to right and left, and you can actually see this movement values in the properties table. So, in the properties table, you can see where I am moving and which position I am moving. You can just see here and control it. Okay. And we are now considering only two movements, X and Y. Z is not required because we are not working with the depth. So, here what I am now going to do is, the second is the rotation. I can rotate it in any angle, and third is the scale. So, what is the amount of scale I need? Say for example, I want to scale it to the full screen. So, then I can just drag it and scale it like this. I can make it a little longer like this, and then select the move tool, move it down like this, and now if you drag it to the left, you can see it has to just touch the tip of our screen like this. So, you have to place it like this. So, to precisely do the calculation, what I will do is, I will give you some values. For example, I have scaled it by 8 times. For 8 times I have to type here 8000, okay, and press enter. And along the y axis I have scaled it by 5000, and z you need not worry. Right now I will just keep z also 5000, but z value doesn't matter here. So whatever value you enter it in z doesn't matter, okay. Okay, so now I will just make it touch the ground like this. So for this I have to move it approximately by around minus 178, and along the x axis I will move it by minus 200, not to minus 200, I will move it by plus 200 here. So when I move it by plus 200, and if I see it, it should be exactly to the edge like this. So exactly at 200, it is exactly at the edge. So I have made the vertical movement of y by minus 178. I have moved it down by minus 178, and along the x axis I have moved it by 200. I have moved it to by 200, 178, and I have scaled it by 8 times along the x axis and 5 times along the y axis. So we have set our one background ready. Now in this case, in this game, again just like the logic we used in Flappy Bird, our racer is not going to run, he is going to stay constant, and the thing is the background is going to remove. So if the background moves from right to left, your racer will be moving from left to right. So this is the perception you can create to the user. So instead of moving your racer, the racer remains at its position, but the background will be moving from right to left, and this creates an illusion that the racer is moving from left to right. So for this, now when I am moving this, I want it like a continuous running road. So for this, what I will do is, I will select this BG1 and I will duplicate it, right click, choose duplicate, and make one more copy BG2. Now I will select the BG2 and I will set its scale again to 8000, then vertical scale to 5000, and Z 5000, Z doesn't matter. And after this, now I am going to move this at the same height, Y will be the same, I won't change, and I want it just to touch here like this. So I am going to move it approximately along the x axis by 1000 units. So when I move it by 1000 units, if you see in this 3D scene, so if I move it and show it to you, see, press the middle mouse to pan it and roll the mouse to zoom it. You can see this entire stretch is appearing as one single road. Now we create an animation and show that these two are just looping. This is similar to the concept we used in Flappy Bird. So with this, we have set up the background. Our background is ready, and we have to now add the other components. So adding of these other components, let us continue it in our next session. Thank you.